All right. Good morning, everybody. My clock says 11, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have not put your name and library in the chat, I see that there's more people here than we have messages in chat at this point. So if you would go ahead and add your name and library to the chat, that would be great. After a little over a year of doing this, I have never had anybody
in progress.
given any public comments. So I just took that out and we're just going to jump right into the meat of what we are trying to talk about today. So the first thing is during this past week, I have had opportunity or have needed to call multiple libraries over some issues in my role as CERC committee chairman. What I found is many of those contacts that are listed are not correct. And so what I'd like for you all to do is double check on the circulation contact list if your library's contact is correct. So let me share this real quick. Here is where you need to send your corrections to. So Ron Eifert out of Sikeston is willing to update for us. Go ahead and email any corrections to him so that we can get a current and accurate list so that people who need to call between libraries can go ahead and get the right person that they need. So Ron did say when you email him the information, it may take him a few days. He may wait and see if several come in all at once before he goes in and fixes it. So it may not be reflected immediately after you send that information in, but he will get it updated for us. And that I just want our website to be correct. People going on it can get to the person that they really need to get to. Okay, so the second thing that came up this month is, and this just happened to Cass County, so I'm thinking it's a good reminder for everybody. We had a patron, and I don't even remember from where, call our library wondering where something in transit was. Well, it's in transit. We didn't know where it was, but the point was somehow that patron figured out where which library, and it wasn't even our main library, it was one of the more smaller libraries, and called that library themselves. So the circulation policy basically tells us that patrons should contact their home library if they have questions, and then the home library should contact the lending library. So I guess what I would encourage you to do is not say where that item is coming from. Specifically, just say that it is coming and that you are willing to check into it with that the sending library. We all know if you've been in Missouri Evergreen for a while, sometimes hubs have various issues. Things get lost, things get they can't get them all picked up, and so it's sitting at a hub somewhere, and that is probably what is delaying it. And if that's not the problem, perhaps the owning library then could place a different hold for that patron, or consider using OCLC to do an interlibrary loan from another library outside of our consortium. So any questions on that?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any way that patrons have the ability to ferret that information out for themselves, or will it not show up? Like where their item is coming from?
I don't believe on their side that there's a way for them
You can.
I didn't think so. Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually in the app, I just pulled out my app and looked, and I have several items that are in transit from Scenic Regional, and I can see which branch they're coming from. So yes, our patrons do have access to that information very easily.
Okay, so that's probably then how this patron got the information. So I don't know that there's necessarily anything we can do about that. But if a patron does come in and wonder about those things and it's right in front of you, say that you will contact the other library. I don't know that there's a thing we can do about something that's on the app. Diane, what do you think?
Well, and I'm just thinking that we need to just let staff know then, if somebody calls you from another library and says, hey, where's my thing? I guess we'll do what your staff member did and say, well, I can see that it's it's in transit to you. If you have further questions, please contact your own library. Because we don't want to be contacted by everybody else's patrons, and we don't want our patrons harassing other libraries either.
Right. I don't necessarily see that it's a thing that we can take off of the app, or I don't know.
No, yeah. Yeah, that won't happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And it probably, I don't know, maybe in the OPAC. I don't know if you can see it in the OPAC. I don't have anything in transit to me right now. I pulled up the app too to try to see if it was on there.
I don't
But
think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know any place it would look in the OPAC. It would say it's in transit, but I don't know. I'd have to check.
Right. Well, one way or another, to the best of our ability, let's try to direct somebody else's patrons back to their library to deal with the issues that might come up, with transit things or bills or damage or any of that, that it goes back through their home library.
Their home library. I know patrons have sometimes called to say, I know I can't renew this again, but would you allow me to? Like, no, you'll need to talk to your home library.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I do not know if I can possibly share this. Oh, no, I don't think it's going to let me. We have a new thing on our OPAC called Syndetics Unbound. And as you bring up an item, you're doing a catalog search. This would be on the patron's side. The patron from home or on the app is doing a search for a particular item. So it will come up and they will see what they have normally seen. But in addition, Syndetics Unbound has been added to our catalog. So what it will do is show you reviews, give you summaries, give you kind of like subject searches that you could do. Some things will have recommendations on it. Liz, can you jump in? What do you know more about it?
Okay, so Syndetics Unbound is, okay, so it's not a discovery layer, because I know we've talked about discovery layers other places. It's not a discovery layer. It's kind of an enrichment that lays on your OPAC that makes it more, I don't want to say user friendly, but makes it more kind of like Goodreads. Think of how Goodreads looks. So where you have a plain OPAC like we're maybe used to, and then you lay this layer on top that makes it almost interactive for patrons. So it has besides summaries, which we're all used to, right? It has maybe author bios or reviews, professional reviews. It could be patron reviews. We could, have that on there. It pulls out, you can even have like read-alikes. It pulls out the awards. It pulls out series. It does all these things to make it more like interactive and basically fancy looking for patrons. It looks really neat. Yeah, but it's based off of information, not necessarily just from BIP records. It's from LibraryThing and ProQuest is where they're getting all this stuff.
So it's fairly new. I think we've only had it a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. So this is something that we could be alerting our patrons that they are going to be able to get some of this information instead of having to go out to Goodreads to get reviews or go to whatever site they do to get their reviews. Some of that is going to be included as they're doing a search for their item. So it's underneath the list of which library has it, and you just keep scrolling down. And so I just want to encourage you to alert your patrons because it's there. We might as well get the good use out of it. And like Liz says, it's not a discovery layer. I think Steve Potter was the one who implemented it. I don't know how he found it or what we did to get it, but it's there. So I say, let's use it.
I have it brought up. You want me to share it?
Oh, that would be great, Diane.
Here, this is, you see, I see you can see this. This is at the bottom of a record, The Wings of Poppy. This stuff here is a novelist Scenic pays extra for, and it says there, this above is novelist, but this is the Syndetics Unbound that Rhonda was talking about. So it will automatically open. This used to be, you had to click on this downward arrow to see this novelist stuff, but now it's automatically the default. And you would see this here. There's a summary. There are some reviews. You can write your own review. And if there was more, this is a new author, so there's not a lot of stuff here, but if this was an older author, there would be more information about the author and perhaps other books by him. So it's going to open up automatically. And if the patron will just scroll down just a little bit, they can see this enriched information here.
So I also saw, say it again.
I just opened Stephen King's newest Holly, and it's wonderful. Down at the bottom, it has tags where you can browse tags, and like it has horror, thriller, and it has his series listed. So that is nice.
What's also really good about this is, so if you're a cataloger at all and do catalog and circulation, series aren't necessarily traced anymore. Let me put that in quotations. So we have issues with that linking series in the catalog, making them be like, oh, here's book 1, book 2, book 3. But this does it for you. So you can go into a book and it will then tell you, oh, this is book whatever in this series because it's pulling from somewhere else. So it enhances already the information that's in there. It's pretty cool.
The other thing I saw, at least on one book, there was a pretty good sized section that you could read of the book to kind of get into it and see if you are going to like this book or if it's something that you want to, I don't want to say waste your time on, but if you get a book that it's, okay, this is not what I thought it was, then it's got a pretty good length of section of it so that you can get started. It looks like Diane's pulled up. So is this?
Yeah, there's a Neil Gaiman book here that has these tags about the author, awards, series, and it has the books in order, I guess.
Yeah, keep going on down. Can you go down a little bit more, a little more? So here's those tags down here that can help you.
I did
find
one of those, and it doesn't actually link you to anything, but at least you can see, I guess, the subject. At least the one I clicked didn't link.
Right. I don't think they link, but
And I
it
guess
still
how
gives you.
big they are is how many times they've been tagged on that item, I'm assuming.
I think so.
got awards down there at the bottom. Lots of cool information.
I get it why it's not on the staff side, but you know, it's like, whew, some of that would be nice for us too. But at least we're providing our patrons with information that's right there. They don't have to go to another place So we just need to let them know. So encourage your staff to take a look at it, see how they can help patrons begin to use that information. I think it's wonderful that it's there now. Okay, we're flying through this, which is great. We can have a short meeting this time.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
This is cynical me. So Syndetics Unbound, is that something that we already pay for? Or I guess cynical me worries that like we have it and we show our patrons and then, by the way, just kidding, now we're gonna have to start paying for it, or now this is like the free trial period or something. I just don't know where it comes from. I mean, I know we have Syndetics already for the covers, and I just am curious.
Don't quote me on this. I thought this was something else that Syndetics offered along with the covers that we just hadn't turned on.
Okay,
That's
makes
kind of what
sense.
I understood it to be too, but I'm not going to stake my life on it.
Yeah,
Okay, that
don't-
makes sense.
don't-
I was just
don't quote
curious.
us.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on Syndetics Unbound? Get in there and try it. And then moving on to old business. This is why I was calling people this week. We still are having an issue with personally identifiable information going back and forth on our whole transit slips. And so I kind of quick made up a little instruction sheet that I sent along with this invitation and the agenda, so that we can make an effort to get every circulation computer checked in each branch. This issue is workstation specific, so you could have 3 out of 4 computers perfect, and you've got this one lone one that's causing the trouble. That's what happened at my branch. And so I think I've got all of them. I work at one branch, but I have contacted branch managers and said, please go through and check all of your computers. They've reported back. And so hopefully, at least Cass counties are fixed, but I have had in the last week, probably 15 more. And it's probably not all of your computers that print a circulation a holds transit slip. But if your computer is attached to a slip printer, transit slip printer, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be checked so that we can get this taken care of. So all of the instructions, I think that hopefully they're clear, what I sent to you, but it would be a great favor to me if you would go ahead and check those computers. The other thing I would say is, I am willing to contact other libraries, but if you have something that comes through on and you're routing it in and you notice it, I think it would be fine if you contacted those other libraries and just let them know, because they may not realize. Granted, we're talking about it today. Things that are in transit they already have that slip that's going to be wrong, but it's still worth the email or call to see if we can get it corrected. So just remember, every single workstation, every single one, and it's kind of a pain to have to go to each one, but we need to do each one. Questions on the instructions I sent or on why we need to do this? Okay. All right. Moving on to other. I'm just going to give you a heads up right now. We will have a November circulation committee meeting, but we will not have a December circulation committee meeting, because I think it falls on the 26th or something like that. Many of us may be taking time time off during that time period. And so we have, if we do we need to do 10 out of 12 months. And so we have that 1 month that I've been holding on to take off. And I looked at that date and I just thought, no, let's not. So we will meet next month, but we will not meet in December. So wanted to get that out there. Is there anything that anybody else would like to bring before the committee? I like it. Does that mean everything is just going, we're just going along and we're doing good? That's what I'm gonna think.
I don't want to say that we're doing good because I'll jinx myself,
I
but
know.
actually we're having a really good time right now. Well, I'm in the hiring process yet again, so that's why I was late today, but my revolving door.
Yes. I'm training pretty much as soon as I get off of this call, I'm going into training. So someone,
Well, that's interesting to hear. That's 3 libraries with a revolving door.
Uh-huh.
well, and I don't know, I don't know how far this news has gone out, but Dan Brower, our library director, is moving to Minnesota, Michigan.
Minnesota,
One of those-
Minnesota.
Hi.
In places up there. The guy got married and his wife works in one place quite a ways away and he works here quite a ways away, and call me crazy, but they want to be together. I mean, it makes sense.
The nerve.
So we're going to be having big changes here. So
Yeah.
Have you noticed on PubLib how West Palm Beach, Florida is constantly hiring? Have you ever noticed that? On that deal, always you can find a job in Palm Beach, Florida, which is, I have a lot of relatives there, but
There you go, Terry.
there you go. I could go
We're
work
gonna
in
get
Palm Beach.
a mass exodus now to West.
I always feel sorry for them. I'm like, again? Again?
Yeah. Okay, anything else? All right, this will be one short circulation meeting, but hope you have a good rest of your day and rest of your week, and we'll see you in November then.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Bye.